family story is my people's story, the Tamil people's story, and it's very similar to many of the Canadian migrant stories that I hear. I feel it's very important for me to ensure that this migrant story is part of the Canadian political discourse. I was born in Jaffna, Sri Lanka. This is from the Northern Peninsula in that beautiful island. I remember stories that my parents tell me about the island, of it being paradise and just beauty everywhere, natural beauty, just the world being perfect when my dad was growing up. The reason why I'm here in Canada today is because that beautiful paradise turned to hell. Back home, my mom was a housewife who was also a seamstress and had a little tailoring shop. My father worked for the tourist board. In 1983, the riots happened, and after that, life was never the same again. I was 2 years old, and my father left to find a better place for us to live. He went in search of better opportunities, a land where we could live without fear of persecution, where we could live free. After traveling the world, he ended up in Canada, and I'm very glad he ended up in Canada because Canada is where I can proudly call home and know that this land gave me all these opportunities that allowed me today to be running to be Member of Parliament. One thing I remember from when we first arrived in Canada at the airport, I thought I was the first person to recognize my father, to find him out in the crowd in the airport. But I remember telling my mom, look, there's somebody who looks like your uncle, because I didn't know my father. I was too young when he left to find us a better home. And I didn't even know he was my father when I met him at 5 years of age. And of course he came over and scooped me up and was so excited to see us, and I was his baby. I am his baby. He scooped me up and was so excited to see us, and then only I knew him as my father. By the time we came to Canada, my father had already had a workplace accident. My mother went from being a housewife who had a tailoring shop to being the single breadwinner in the family. She made the choice to ensure that she was going to take care of us, all of us. She went and worked in a warehouse, and for the last 25 years, she's been taking care of the family by working in a warehouse. That's not what she wanted to do. It's hard, back-breaking work. She had to do that. She had to be strong for us so that her children could have an education and the prosperity that she couldn't have because she had to leave her home country. My mother stepping up and taking care of the family showed me that we could be strong, that all four of us could be strong just like her, and that we can take care of ourselves. We could be independent women. My mother's strength is where I draw from, is where I learned to be strong myself. This story is something that I'm hearing so frequently when I talk with people in the community, migrants in the community. Way too many Canadians are separated. So many of us, the Tamils, the Chinese, the Filipinos, the Haitians, from all over the world, we're forced to be in situations where we're separated from our families. We need to ensure that Canadian policies are friendly to ensure that family reunification is a priority. Families that live together, are happy together, play together, produce so much more. Many of us who come here need to have that strength within us to face all of the barriers and battles that we need to face as newcomers into a country. Many migrants, like my family, came to Canada looking for a better life, full of opportunities. And this is why I believe in economic prosperity and social equality for all Canadians.